Yeah, honestly, if he didn't like what I did so much, I would have probably already quit. It would have totally thrown the whole circle of life off at home.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Life of Dad Show. Here in the Life of Dad Show, we talk with athletes, actors, entrepreneurs, CEOs, musicians, entertainers who've all made a name for themselves, but the one thing that is most important to them is being a dad. This week's edition of the Life of Dad Show, I'm bringing on NASCAR driver Kevin Harvick. There was a great father-son moment a few weeks back that NASCAR reached out to me to see if I wanted to chat with Kevin about that moment, about father, and a whole lot more. You're going to dig Kevin's take on fatherhood, so without further ado, let's get into it. Here is my interview with NASCAR driver Kevin Harvick. Enjoy. What's going on, everybody? Eddy here for the Life of Dad Show, and online I'm very happy to have Kevin Harvick. Thanks for taking the time to chat with me, Kevin. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Congratulations on the win at Michigan. Here at Life of Dad, we love seeing moments like the one you experienced with your son, Keelan, and you guys celebrating the win. Talk about the pride you had as a father in that moment, sir.
Yeah, as far as dad moments, those are pretty good moments. For me, fortunate to be in a position to where I can take my son to the racetrack, a sport that has, opens their arms to letting you spend your time with your family. And for me, it's really one of the things that kind of keeps me coming to the racetrack because of the fact that Keelan loves going to the racetrack so much. And I think those types of moments, being able to share those big moments of a win or a championship or whatever the moment may be, they're just priceless moments that you can share with your family. And for me, it's mostly with my son because he's my summer travel buddy as he's out of school. So, we got to spend a lot of time together on airplanes and at the racetrack and baseball parks and whatever else we went and did this summer, while we were traveling around the race circuit. So it's almost like my job turns into doing your job and a vacation all at the same time.
That's fantastic, Kevin. And besides this interview, we're going to be kind of showcasing the video that you and your son had at Michigan with him, taking the checkered flag and bringing it to you. After all the fanfare and everything that, you and your son experienced that past Sunday and all that, when you guys had some quiet time after leaving the racetrack, did you guys talk about the experience? I know it's kind of young. I have two daughters, 11 and 9, and sometimes when you kind of want to have that, heart-to-heart talk with your child, did you guys kind of talk a little bit about what you experienced when you had some quiet time together?
Well, the one thing that I try to explain to people all the time is everything's pretty short-term for us around here. Life moved at a pretty fast pace with two kids, as you know. For me, those moments really come as we're traveling home and as people ask him as we've been home this week, it's almost like he blows it off and says, yeah, unless they ask a specific question, it's not going to be something that he brings up because it's something that he and I talk about, but he's been around it so much that it's almost like he's just a part of what we do, whether it's with my team guys or whether it's with me. It's just kind of normal habit at this point. So really the only thing that he's brought up that is different than some normal, it's really normal to him to just be around it. The only thing that he brought up that was different than normal is the burnouts in the right side of the car. And he said, Dad, he's like, the straight burnout was pretty cool. He's like, but that one going in circles, he's like, I don't know about that. That was pretty sketchy stuff there. So I don't know. I didn't like it, but it was kind of cool. So that's really the only thing that he's brought up from the weekend. So we spent the whole weekend together. And Michigan is always a place that there's a lot to do for us. We like going up there. We've done everything. Last year he crashed a golf cart at the golf course into a big pine tree one morning. He drove his first quarter midget go-kart up there last year. And this year we went and watched the Tigers game and we played golf and we have kind of these traditional stops that we go to in Pocono. We go to the Japanese Steakhouse and we go to the golf course up there and we have a little putt-putt that we go to. So we have these traditional little spots and that's why in Michigan it's really cool while you're there, but once you get home, it's like, oh, that's the same thing that we did the last 2 years there. So it's not something that is like, unless there's one moment that sticks out like the donut, he's not going to bring something up because that's just what he does.
Gotcha. Thanks very much for sharing that. And, I've been lucky enough to cover NASCAR, different racetracks and all that. And I love seeing NASCAR is all about family. Life of Dad, we love seeing that. We always hear about the work-life balance, right? And I know that from track to track during the season, you guys are like you said, you kind of have that, all right, this happened the weekend, let's focus on the next. You want to enjoy those moments, but like you're right, all right, let's focus on the next track. When you kind of reflect just about fatherhood and your job, how, your career and family are able to mix so well with NASCAR?
Yeah, honestly, if he didn't like what I did so much, I would have probably already quit. Okay. Just because it would have totally thrown the whole circle of life off at home, needing to be here and needing to take him to school and needing to do all those things. If I couldn't take him with me during the summer or with me at certain points during the year and him, be involved in what I do, there's no way that I'd still be racing just because Delaney would need too much help at home, and if he didn't like it and didn't want to go and didn't want to be involved, I would just miss too much. So, now that Piper's getting close to the point of being able to travel a little bit better, next year she'll be able to start going back to the racetrack. So for me, him going to school has been tough because he and Delaney had traveled so much while he was younger. They were there a lot, and we went and did a lot of things, and so that for me, he has to be there, or I'll just be done with it, and not go to the racetrack anymore and find something else to do because I have to be home, I have to be around. And he and Piper and Delaney, they both need that father figure in their life to be able to do the things that we expect out of them as parents, and in order to have them do those things, you have to be present. And so it really, like I said earlier, having a job and a sport that is so receptive to bringing your kids to the racetrack and being involved in what you do. And you look back at the history of our sport, that's not something that has changed. And, I'm just fortunate to be able to do what I love to do. And luckily, Delaney's been around it for a long time. Keelan loves it. Mom spent a little more time at home than she wants to with Piper, but, that'll change as we go forward. We've experienced that before and trying not to put them in a bad position to where everybody's miserable, and so it's definitely something that we've learned through the years of the things that we like. We know when the kids need to travel, when's a good time for them to travel, good places to take them, and we've learned all that through the years.
Thanks very much for sharing that, and talk about when you found out you're going to be a dad for the first time, Kevin. What was going through your mind, sir?
Oh man, it's been a while. Let's see, Keelan was born in 2012, so I had to plan a little bit before that, but both of us were pretty independent, as far as the things that we like to do and places we like to go, and we would just, go do what we wanted to do. And I think, having kids that, in the beginning it was obviously a little bit different lifestyle than we had been living, but for us as parents, it's been really good just because of the fact that it gives you a different perspective on life in general and the way that things work. And so that's been really good for Blaine and I. And it's been, honestly, having kids has been the best thing that's ever happened to our lives, and I think it's made us better people, made me better at my job. It's made us more organized, and so there's really nothing that other than losing some sleep here and there, and a couple headaches from some frustrating things. I'm not going to tell you that it's all rosy, but the moments that aren't so good make the good ones even better.
Well said, sir. 2 more questions before I hit you up with a Life of Dad Quick 5. What are some of the core values you look to instill into your kids as they're growing up?
Yeah, it's tough. Delaney and I talk about this all the time because of the lifestyle and the things that we do. We like the things that we have, and we like the places that we go. And I'm not going to apologize for that, but how do you teach your kids to respect the things that they have and good people? That's really the most important thing, is how do you raise a respectful human being that's going to respect the things that you have, respect other people, have manners, and do all the things that you want them to do. And I think as you look at that, those are obviously the important pieces of being a parent. And it's like I said earlier, you have to be present. You have to be able to lead by example, and you also have to be willing to discipline and change things along the way. So it's hard, man. Especially trying to navigate a profession and life in general. We have a lot going on, and it's a team effort. That's for sure. Between Delaney and myself, but it's definitely fun.
Nice, man. And like I said, one more question before I hit you up with the Life of Dad Quick 5. What is one big piece of advice you offer to new dads listening to this?
The thing that I always tell new dads is it's going to be really, really hard in the beginning. The first couple of weeks you're kind of living in la la land, the greatest thing ever, and then reality sets in, and you're like, oh man, what did I sign up for? Why won't they sleep? Why won't they eat? There's going to be a number of challenges, but I guess the best thing that I can tell them is to take it all in, enjoy the crazy, insane moments that you don't think you're ever going to sleep again, or you're going to, not be able to go play golf or hang out with your buddies, and you have to be able to, talk about that with your partner, and be able to understand and navigate through those things. But always, even the bad moments, you have to enjoy them and embrace them and understand that's leading to something that'll be better down the road.
Nice, man. Really appreciate you sharing that. Now I got the Life of Dad Quick 5. Favorite family movie in the Harvick household is what?
Joy and I have been trying to find old movies that we liked as kids.
Yeah.
And most of them are not acceptable, and what we watched as kids is a lot different than what they watched as kids.
For sure.
Keelan, they rotate a lot. He's been on Cars 3 lately, so Piper, she's not really into it. So if he'll sit and watch a whole movie, it's usually going to be planes or cars or something along those lines.
Okay, nice. Favorite family song, or is there a band you can't wait to introduce your kids to when they get a certain age?
Yeah, the favorite family song was Whatever Appeased Piper, and so up until now, it's been that crazy little Baby Shark song.
Spoken like a true dad, Kevin. Love it. Describe the perfect family vacation. Where would it be?
We like to spend time in the mountains in Wyoming.
Oh, nice. When I get a NASCAR driver, I always love hearing, their response to this. What track would you recommend for a NASCAR fan who hasn't been to a race in person, but if they could choose any track, any race, any time, what would it be in your opinion?
Well, I think one is this weekend. We're going to the Bristol Night Race. I think that's definitely one that I would put on there just for the atmosphere. But in the end, if I had to choose one, it's always going to be the Daytona 500. There's no other race that creates anticipation and excitement leading up to the first race of the season with our biggest race. There's no match for the Daytona 500.
Nice. And lastly, what are the 3 top words your kids hope to describe you as a father?
The 3 top words? Oh man, that's a tough question. I think I always tell Keelan that I have to be fair, fair, fun, and I guess it would be 2 words: best friend.
Nice. There you go. Appreciate it. People, make sure you follow Kevin on Twitter, Kevin Harvick. Yep. Go to his website at kevinharvick.com. I know how busy your schedule is and all that, but again, we love here at Life of Dad just seeing you celebrate a win with your family, especially with your son. Such an awesome father-son moment. Continued success in the future, sir. And again, thank you for the time.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for listening to the Life of Dad show. You know where to find us, lifeofdad.com, and on Twitter and Facebook.
Noise you couldn't quite locate or explain. Couldn't quite locate.